All right, I think I'm live. Arkansas Prepper will tell me whether I am or not. Oh man, that's nice what you commented there. Let's see if it's working. Really slow. Hello, Diana. How are you? Susie Cat. As you come in and switch from top chat to live, absolutely. Then we can see everything. All right, everybody can see me. I got like a 5-second delay, so I can't look at the myself. Hello, Dave. How's it going, buddy? Oh man. Yes, I have Dr. Pepper this week. Mountain Man, what's going on, my friend? All right, we're getting everybody coming in. Yeah, had a good weekend this weekend so far. Life is good. What can I say? I am so sore. I cannot tell you how sore I am. Man, Arkansas Prepper, I love that. Thank you so much, buddy. That means a lot. Y'all know, I mean, I was going to this morning meet Gary for breakfast and work on the uh, septic, but I've been fighting this problem with my shoulder. It's been getting a lot better. And I went over and helped a neighbor. They were putting up some walls to his shop. And I was helping lift up the walls, and I just overextended it way too far. And I had to call Gary and say, look, I can't do it today. We're going to shoot for it Monday. Give it a little bit more rest. And then I moved all those blocks to get ready for the moving the shed. I moved all those blocks, and man, that just hurt it even more. I'm Kaj. I'm much younger than most of you, but your style, delivery, life of prepping, and life perspective cheer me up. Well, how nice is that of you to say? Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm able to do that. That's what we're all in here for. Cornbread, welcome, buddy. How you doing? All right. Just letting people stroll in as I just chat a little bit. I did change my hours with driving the cab. It's still Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but I just do 1 to 6. And that got me away from all those really long trips every day and made it a whole lot better on my body. I was so mad though. My camera, I got that Sony ZV-1. Nick bought that for me for Christmas about 7 years ago. And that thing has been a great camera, but it's going down. I'm losing too much footage. Yesterday, I was moving all the block off the pad there by the house. The card crashed. It didn't record anything. Today, when the guy delivered the gravel and I hopped on the tractor and I spread all that out and I worked on the septic tank area, regrading all of that, the camera never recorded anything. So I think it's time to, I'm going to have to break down and get a new camera. Off-Grid Suburban Project, how are you, my friend? I'm fine. I'm just fine. What is the projected timeline for house completion? This spring. We will be permanently out here this spring. Next weekend, I hope to have the building moved and everything connected up. And then we'll frame the walls of my little addition there and put the roof on so everything's dried in. And then I just start finishing off the inside. Trying to emulate your Cajun sausage recipe. I'll go back and look at that video. We'll do another one. I'll make another one just for you because I really like that. Wow, 2.5 pounds, $10 a pound, Arkansas Prepper. Can you believe that? $10 a pound. Hey Joe, what's up with all these mass shootings? Yeah, the world's gone crazy. It's not just war. I don't want to get this early to get this political, but I'm telling you, this is what they wanted. This has been cooking for the last 25, 30 years. This is what they want. We've reached that point because we've been taught for the last 30 years to hate everybody. That's my take on it. And this is what was it. Wow, Susie Cat. I used that Spark. I got delivery yesterday of my. I mentioned it in the video. Alex is, he drives for Walmart Private Fleet as a truck driver, and one of his benefits, he gets that Walmart Plus for free, and through him, we get 10% discount. But he ordered everything I wanted for groceries, and we did that Thursday, and I said I would be out here Friday between 1 and 3, and they delivered all the groceries. That was great because it's a 45-minute round trip for me, not counting time in the store. So, to be able to just order it and have it brought out here is perfect. Yeah, I'm telling you, Arkansas Prepper, we're going to start doing that. There's a guy down at the bottom of my hill, I think I mentioned this. He has a bunch of cattle, and I know the back way to sneak onto his property and try to snatch me a cow, maybe. It's going to turn into that. I'm afraid of that, man, I'm telling you. Now, the guy who delivered the gravel today, he's a local, lives here in Cumberland. He bought some acreage, about 5 acres a few years ago, and built his house. He did it just like me. He had no money. He started a landscaping business, and they've been building as they can. They're living on theirs now. He's in the city, village limits, where he had electric and he had water and septic and everything. He didn't have to build all the infrastructure like I had to do. But real nice guy. I mean, I really liked this dude when I met him, and he brought that rock out here for me. I really liked him. He's the one who's taken those trees out for me. I like the way he did it. We were talking, I need that big one gone. And he said they would take it down, all the brush they would push aside where I push all my brush, and all the limbs, all the tree, they would buck up in 16, 18-inch lengths and bring them up to the battery room and stack everything up for me. And clean up the whole yard. He said for $400. He said, how's that sound? So we were walking across the yard. I said, well, you know what? If you'll do the same thing with that tree, we'll do the 400. That sounds good. He said, all right, we'll do it. I like him. Hey, Bill, what's going on, my man? But yeah, I mean, we have money. I mean, we don't. He's doing the same thing as me, totally debt free. He's not going into debt to do this. Just like me, I am fighting and fighting and fighting to not go into debt to put this thing together. Well, I like that, Dave. A pepper ball launcher. Wow, that's pretty cool. Uh, but I think Susie sent me money. I got Dr. Pepper, by the way, because I couldn't find any on sale last week. I wasn't going to pay that kind of price for Dr. Pepper as much as I love it. So she sent me a super chat with enough money to buy myself a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper. So thank you. But this guy who did the gravel delivery, he's a hunter, and I was showing him, the back of the barn where all the deer cross through here all the time. I said, dude, if you want to come up here and hunt, just send me a message that you're going to be up here, and have at it. All I ask for, just like with Bobby, if he wants to hunt over here, if he harvests a deer off my property, turn me on to some of the meat. Give me a share, and I'll be happy with that. He was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome." Okay, so as a Spark driver, I'm surprised at the customers not knowing a couple things. We're not offered price per mile. We use our own cars, own gas. What you pay for delivery is far more than what we get. Well, I mean, I tip when the driver gets here. I give them cash, but I know on the order it also takes a 10% tip. That's included in the price I pay on the order. I mean, I don't know how it works. But I thought about doing that, getting on this with Spark and doing that in Wheeling, but I'm not there enough. All right. What else has been going on? Man, this thing is like dead. It's very slow. Hind quarter and back strap. That's there you go. Thank you for telling me that, Cornbread. That's what I'll ask for, I guess. Mountain Survival 1. Hi there from Utah. I loved Utah. I loved driving up through Utah when I was driving the truck. That was one of my, and I want to visit all 5 state parks in Utah. Well, I might have to look into that, Dave. That sounds like a really cool thing, but fortunately, where I am, I don't have to worry about less than lethal things. Ah, making your own wine. My address is on the on my videos, by the way. I do accept samples. Your tractor work looks, well, thank you, buddy. I was so happy. I was doing all that tractor work today with the gravel, and I was like really happy I had the video going and everything. It's like, okay, I can look at my improvements as I've been going along, and it didn't record yet. Yeah, it's going to look like a yard here in a couple weeks. Um, and it's not going to be. I'm really happy to get to spend time on that tractor and learn how to really use it. It's been a great investment. That was one of the best things we bought. And I'll say this, it beats filling up buckets full of gravel in the back of my truck and driving it down and dumping buckets of gravel. We're getting it. Ray Bone Crusher, what's up, my friend? How you doing, buddy? Oh, good to see you in here. But I'm hoping Monday my back and arm heal up enough that I'll be able to work with uh, Gary and finish up the plumbing on the septic. I know he wanted to come out yesterday morning. Or this morning. We were going to meet for breakfast, but I just couldn't do it. You know who to contact? Yeah, I do. That's what I said, man. I don't understand it, especially if those people leave that tractor there. Why that's not utilized? You know, I wouldn't move gravel any other way. Yes, you finally got in for a live. I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm glad you made it. Uh, I like that crush run gravel stuff, man. I got that whole thing ready now for that building. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the Alex's building moved over next weekend. The landscaper guy that's going to take the trees down is going to do it one night this week, he's thinking. And then once that's down, I can call and schedule the building move. It's just, once again, I mean, if you think about it, just the simple move that building 150 feet. That's all it does. That's all I'm doing, you know, to hook it up, to add it onto mine. But, you know, $150 or $180 for the gravel delivery. $400 to remove that big tree that's falling down, because I cannot do it. I don't have the skill level to take a tree like that down and not crush my house. So $400 for the tree removal and everything, and $550 to move the building over. So you're looking at $1,000 out of your pocket just to make that move for the building. Now it's going to pay off. You know, I mean, it's better than me having to build the whole extension on. But still, you have to have that kind of money to do this kind of stuff. Uh, it is great to hear that first flush. I know, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. He must be getting hard up for video content. Dave videoed himself beating a wasp nest with a stick for 15 minutes. Beating a wasp nest for 15 minutes. Is the septic system fully approved now? Um, yes and no. She's approved everything I've done so far. All we have to do is me and Gary are going to hook up the rest of the plumbing, just the distribution box to the lines. Everything is approved. And then she'll come out and look at the distribution box. I'll have everything backfilled by then and everything graded. And I'll get the final approval. But the main things were the tank getting the tank right, and getting all of the infiltrator chambers, all the leach lines right and level. All of that's been approved now. That was the hard part. So we just have to connect the things and we're done. It's over with. So we actually got it. Well, speaking of Gary, good evening. You got a really good deal for that tree work. I paid twice. That just dropped a couple maple trees about 10 years ago. I had to do all the process. Oh, yeah, I figured as much. I mean, I was real happy with the guy. He's such a nice guy. I kind of wish you had been out here today, Gary. He's such a nice dude. I was real glad to meet him, and he lives right here in Cumberland. So anything I need as far as that kind of work goes, man, he's the guy. And he taps his maple tree. He processes maple syrup every year. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome because, you know, I'm going to have bees in the fruit orchard. So he said, oh, yeah, we'll be swapping, you know, honey for maple syrup. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. That's the kind of groups you got to get, people. This is what I'm talking about. Meet your neighbors, right? He's a neighbor, just a couple of miles from here, right? He makes his own syrup and everything. They tap a bunch of maple trees, and so now when I get my bees set up and I start getting honey, we're gonna barter. We will trade honey for maple syrup. That's the kind of groups that you want. Nobody pays anything. We just all will work together. Off-grid Suburban Pro. Hope you can record. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get another camera by then, and I'm gonna have my phones. I left my other, my phone camera at home tonight because I was gonna try to set up with the fire and everything. Electric company owes you a refund. How long will that take? It's, you know what? I told some. I think Teddy asked me that too. They keep changing the goalposts. They keep dangling that carrot out there because it was once you get the septic, you'll be good. So I got the septic almost done. I went ahead. I called them. I emailed them. They wanted to see the permit, and I sent them pictures of what we had done and everything. So then finally he called me back and he said, well, I can try to put this through, but they want to see that you're living out there, and they can look at those smart meters, and they can look and see you're not living out there. You're just there on the weekends. So I don't know. Now I did get timers for a couple of my things here, and I had the air conditioner going on at certain times during the day and turning off, so I used electric, and it looked like we can, we live out here. So he went in and sent it in. I may get it any day now. I don't know. But it's going to come in handy. That's what's going to pay for everything, so that's what I'm banking on, it showing up. It takes like 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. Yeah, Bill, that's what he was telling me. He doesn't do it for a living. He doesn't sell it, but he said, he only taps about 25 trees. Otherwise, he'd be boiling all day. I mean, that would become, you'd have to take a week just constantly boiling the sap. But, I'll get some of it. He'll get some honey. But he's got chickens. They have a couple of hogs, and they're actually trying to learn homesteading too. So we're all, in this together. My neighborhood is half a mile away in New Hampshire. Put the ledge pack on my driveway. There you go. We're all in it together. So I mean, I like living out here in the country, but I'm not in so much in the I'm not, so secluded that I have nobody around. You know, I mean, I really messed up my arm, but I was helping. Me and a couple other guys were helping one of the guys raise the walls in a shop he's building. We all just show up and do it. There's no, you know, it's like, because he'll be over here helping with something. So, again, that's the kind of prepper group I work with. But yeah, I definitely will have another camera, and I'll be set up getting back to that to record the whole thing of moving and attaching the building. That's when Gary's going to have to be out here, and we're really going to get busy. Uh, Tomorrow or Monday, if after we hook up the plumbing in the septic, we might go ahead. Gary, I'm just talking to Gary right now. Uh, we might go ahead and bring up the plywood and everything for the floor of the addition, and I'll bring out some 2x4s. Well, I don't have. I should have brought 2x4s with me. Next weekend, I'm going to bring 2x4s, and I'm going to bring drywall. Do you have maple on your land, Joe? He could tap them if you do. I don't know if I do have some, but I'm not an arborist. I got to get a. I found some black walnut, um, but I have maple trees. I don't know. Yeah, I might learn from him how to tap them and what to look for, because I can teach him how to do, or he can teach me how to do that stuff. Dang. My neighbor was the inspection person. Oh, how cool is that? That's pretty awesome. Now he did say, I mean, this guy has an excavator and a skid steer and everything, and he said he was thinking about getting into the septic, doing septic systems. And I said, well, there's definitely a market for it. There's so many people moving out here and buying up what land, and he brought this up. This was a very good point. When he bought his property, he only has like 5 acres, but he uses it very smart. And that's really, when we bought this, I was looking for 3 to 5 acres. I didn't need giant acreage. You can do amazing things on, 3, 4 acres. Uh, just, unless you're going to have a survival compound with a bunch of people, 3, 4 acres is plenty to do homesteading on. Yeah, we should get the platform squared up before the building gets moved. We've got it squared. We haven't touched it since. I have to run we'll put in all the blocking and get that ready. Drill a hole in the tree and tap the spout into it. Yeah, that's really all you got to do. But I don't know which ones to look for and all that kind of stuff, and how to boil it out and how to make syrup out of it. But I'm going to learn. Silver is $50 a troy. I know. Is that not insane? I am so tempted. I got a bunch of silver. I am so tempted to just take it. I've got the silver at 1 ounce silver bars and coins that I paid like $5 and $6 for years ago, and now they're $50. It's like, geez, I'm so tempted. You know. I Arkansas Prepper. I have 2.5 acres. That's perfect. I've got 10 acres here, but only what, Gary? Maybe acre and a half that's I'm actually using. That's all I'll ever need. You know, the rest of it's just, I mean, it's going down into a valley. It's not really that usable other than pasture land. But I'm going to do great with here with just maybe an acre and a half cleared. But yeah, I think, Gary, I think we could put we can square that up and put the plywood down before we move the building over. I need to buy a tree identification. They got them online. If I pay for the service, Gail found a thing where you can scan the tree, and it'll on your phone, and it'll tell you what kind it is. I need to do that. Oh, we're definitely cornbread. Definitely, we are going to be making trails and stuff out here. I have every intention of that once I'm living here, we're going to have some fun with that. The rest of your acreage is nice buffer zone and windbreak. Yes, it is, and it's extremely difficult to get through. You can ask Gary about that one. I am still completely blown away that people actually went through that when they robbed my barn. Uh, but it is so dense and so difficult to get through. I kind of like that because there's only one way you can get in, and I can see you if you come in. It's grown so much since I bought this that you cannot walk through it. We would definitely hear anybody trying to come up that hill to our property. So, from a prepper standpoint, uh, it's good piece of property. Gary, I have about an acre of cleared land in Alabama, and that seems like a lot. Yeah, it really is. It's all you need. I mean, people don't realize uh, that's you have your garden. You can have your chickens. You can have a pig or whatever. You can, have a big garden all on an acre. Like I said, I might have an acre and a half. That down on the second level where I cleared that out. Now where the or leach field is, that might make it about an acre and a half. But my guy that delivered the gravel brought up a good point when he bought his land. He said he got lucky and bought his before the Amish moved in. And I didn't think about this, but it was after the Amish started buying property around here. That's when the price really went up in this area. Uh, we got a really good offer a few years ago on my property and Bobby's property. They wanted to buy them together um, from an Amish group that wanted them. But he said nowadays, and he's, friends, and I know people, it's like if you see it, buy it. There's no time left. Says, well, you go look at properties. Well, I want to think about it for a few days. You can't think about it now. If you're looking for a property and you see it, grab it. You don't have time to think about it because it is going. Yeah, the Amish are good neighbors. I don't have a problem with them. I think for fire lanes, Joe, I would want it if it was my place. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if something happened, um, that's a very excellent, good point there, cornbread. Um, yeah, because if something down there catches on fire, it's going to come all the way up the hill and hit my barn. No doubt about that. All right. What we're doing here. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sore. I'm tired of working. But Gary, I can't wait for you to see what I did on that little tractor. The way that is looking over there. Oh yeah, anything can start a wildfire. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's just I fortunately you don't hear a lot about wildfires in this area. You know, around through here in South Central Ohio. Wow, Susie. Hopefully you also when you're doing spark deliveries, you also have something. Are you allowed to like do? Yeah. Yes, that's what I was just asking. I do it in the cab. You know, I didn't ask them. I I could or not. I just doing it. Especially now that I'll be out. You know, getting off now at 6 and it'll be dark. And you know I can't ever get off at 6. It'll be 7. Uh, in West Virginia, we don't need a permit to conceal carry. It's a permitless deal here in West Virginia. You just do it. I mean, I think I have to keep my permit uh, for Ohio to bring into Ohio because I don't think they have the reciprocity. I think I have to have a permit to carry in Ohio, but my West Virginia permit will do it. Hey Eric, welcome, buddy. Welcome from Missouri. How y'all doing? I appreciate you stopping by. We're gonna get this. The price of my land has tripled since I bought it. COVID really caused land to go up. People wanting to move to the country. That's 100% correct, Dave. That's what's happening now, and that's why me and the guy were talking about. If you see some land that you can afford, buy it because it's going to continue going up. I mean, it's crazy what I could get for this if I wanted to sell it. Man, you better be careful out there, Susie. It's crazy times we live in, folks. It is out of hand. I'm telling you. Yeah, and it's getting worse every day. That's why there's this a very much sense of urgency to get this done and get out of here. It's getting bad. And it's going to continue getting worse. It's like there used to be hope for the country that it could be fixed, that it could be brought back, but not anymore. Uh, all you can do is just try to get a place where you can protect yourself and your families. Uh, that's all you can do, you know, and get away from this life of consumerism and debt. Self-reliant is it. You have to become that now while you still can. They don't want you to. They're putting up every barrier they possibly can. But the the fatigue of society is becoming overwhelming. I've had concealed carry permits since '89. Yeah, I haven't had one since '89, but I haven't needed one. Uh, I finally did it. I got West Virginia, uh, and West Virginia, when you have to get one, it's for life now. You get, as a veteran, you only pay one time, and your permit's good for life. But like I said, now in West Virginia, you don't, unless you travel, you don't even need one. So no permits for anything in West Virginia. It's a very 2A friendly state. I will say that. I think that's why Prepper Nurse One moved to West Virginia from New York. He said one of the reasons was it's a friendly state. But you got to do it. I mean, I take that trike that company, I did the review on, and I won't drive that through town and out on the trail without, protection. Oh yeah, because nobody was killing anybody back then. You know, today is the result of the programming that has been put in place in the last 30 years. This is a programmed response that was wanted to take over the United States from within. That's what it is. It's not that they even want to overregulate anything. They just want the data. They want the info. War, West Virginia. I haven't heard of that one. I might have to look that one up. That sounds interesting there, Cornbread. I'll be darned. I mean, we are going, folks, because we're not going to stop the digital IDs and the digital currency. We're headed there. There's not enough people to fight against it. And once digital currency takes over, they can turn off your money whenever they want. I'm Kaj. My uncle told me most of his classmates were deer hunters in high school. Absolutely. I mean, every kid, you look at any pictures from the 70s, the 80s, you look at all the pickup trucks in parking lots, they all had gun racks in the back of them because we used the guns for hunting and for play, if you will. Just to go out and shoot pop cans and stuff, pop bottles. Because they weren't ever, it was never, they were guns, they weren't weapons. When all the guns started being referred to as weapons, that's when everybody wanted to get rid of them. When they were just guns, they were fine. They never did anything. But you change the verbiage and you call it a weapon. Now we have to license it. We have to regulate it. We have to try to take those weapons out of people's hands. That's what happened. This country, I think back to 2019, right? Pre-COVID, 2018 and 2019. Since then, this country is not even, doesn't resemble the way it was in 2019. Just in the last 5 or 6 years, this country has changed 100%. It's nothing that you would recognize anymore as the United States of America. I don't know. I have to look that one up. War, West Virginia. I remember when I was driving a truck for 6 months, I went through Arizona, and one of the towns I passed, uh, Two Guns, Arizona. That's an exit off of I-40. Is Two Guns, Arizona. Um, then there's Bat Cave, North Carolina. That's an exit in North Carolina. If they take the guns away, the only people armed will be law enforcement, military, government controlled. And that's what they want. You know, I don't agree with sending uh, the National Guard into these cities. I just think we could do something different. Trump is getting too willy-nilly with sending federal troops everywhere because he's turning them into a federal police department, is what's happening. And because, there's that slippery slope I talk about. Because these blue cities, that's another thing. I'm tired of Fox and Fox's website. I used to get my news from Fox's website. I used to enjoy it. But everything is blue cities, dim cities, blue cities. This happened in this blue city. Take the blue city out of it. Take the red city out of it. Just this is what happened. Quit dividing us. It's bad enough you're the marketing firm for the Republican Party, but quit dividing us and telling us everything that happened in a blue city or a blue state or a blue governor. We're over that. But I fear the federalization of the National Guard. The National Guard is for my state. It's not to go police in Chicago. I just fear what's coming down the pike, folks. Under the guise of helping out, but we're going to lose in the end. I just say be careful what you wish for. That's all I can tell you, folks. I mentioned last week, I don't give a shit what happens over in Israel and Gaza and Russia and Ukraine. I don't care. None of that affects me. I don't care what you say. It only affects me because we allow it to. But the same way, if Chicago, if you don't like the way the city's being run, vote in different people. Now, I don't think the Constitution, the national militia, if you will, is the Army and the Navy and the Air Force and the Marine Corps, right? The National Guard is for our state, our militia. Each state should have its own militia. That's the way that came in. The old way of quelling the violence wasn't working. At least Trump is trying to do something different. Yes, he is, but my fear is what that will lead to. Because it works, and it's like with the guns and the Second Amendment. We have to get rid of the guns because people use them all of the laws are there. if we will enforce the laws, if we will criminalize what is against the law and make these, put these people in jail and let the law become a deterrent and let punishment become a deterrent, that will help quell the violence. But when you say there's nothing we can do about it, let them do whatever they want, that's not, to me, that's a waste of federal dollars. Oh, yeah, Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Yep. I've been to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. In fact, there was a pretty good movie, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. But back to the National Guard. I mean, I'm glad Trump is trying to do something. I appreciate the fact of what he's trying to do. I'm just afraid of what it can lead to. That's all. I see too many good things that happen that eventually work their way into being a bad thing that started off as a good thing. Chicago can handle their own. Los Angeles can handle their own. It's do some research on Kent State and what happened at Kent State. That's all I'm telling you. This is what this is going to lead to. And we're going to have, it's going to turn, these cities are going to start fighting the National Guard like they are ICE. And then the National Guard is going to be, okay, you guys are turned loose. Do what you got to do. And there's going to be these battles in these cities. I don't think it's being handled properly. The National Guard, the National Guard, I'm thinking state militias, not national. I misspoke. I'll say that. But I don't think that should be. Yeah, there you go. Dave brought that up. He's absolutely right. Long time ago, the state National Guards caved to the federal government when the feds said, we will give you weapons, tanks, aircraft if you agree the feds can call up the state guards. There you go. I mean, it wasn't designed that way. And the Constitution is the one that said that we should have state militias. Hey, 1 second after. Welcome, buddy. You missed everything. I'm just kidding. We're just chatting. We're just chatting. And I get off on a tangent and I misspeak. I say things faster than I think sometimes. I'm pretty bad about that. But again, I say, be careful what you wish for. I know what a Trojan horse is. Love my Dr. Pepper. All right, what else is happening? I got a couple of review videos tomorrow I'm going to do so I can keep putting up content and see if I can grow my damn channel. And like I said, Monday, Gary, and if I can get enough camera. Tomorrow, Gail's coming out. Are you ready for this? Gail is actually going to visit St. Bernard Acres. I know, that's rare, but she's bringing the beagles with her. We're going to have beagles at St. Bernard Acres. But they'll get to walk around. I mean, on leashes, they'll get to walk around and bark at every sound they hear. But I got the house cleaned out. I got rid of all the scrap siding that was in there, Gary. Everything is cleaned up and ready for drywall. In fact, I might just tomorrow run down to Lowe's in Marietta, pick up some drywall and some 2x4s and some drywall screws. And then you can help me unload it into the house. I might go get some. But yeah, like I said in the video, get everything out of the way so we're not tripping over all this crap. You got to clean as you build and put stuff up. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I might make a video, making a run to Lowe's and loading up the truck with drywall and 2x4s. Concealed carry, recap on the house, grading the septic, moving the other building, the government, National Guard. It's, yeah, you pretty, we run the gamut here, bud. These live streams don't have an agenda set up. This is all we're going to talk about. We just talk about everything. Whatever anybody asks, I just answer. And we get discussion. We get other people jumping in, which is exactly how this is supposed to work. I've said it, and I'll say it again. I have the best subscribers on YouTube channels. But yeah, I'll go buy some of that $17 a sheet drywall. Oh my God. Why is drywall $17 a friggin' sheet? Let me look it up real quick. Lowe's. Drywall. Now, I do think I get my 10% military discount on drywall. Gold Bond. And it's a different kind of drywall. It's not the drywall, used to be you bought half-inch drywall. If you've got in your house half-inch drywall on a wall and you have to replace a sheet or you want to do something with it, today's half-inch drywall is not a half-inch. So they won't match up because they changed it. Half-inch by 4 feet by 8 foot, high-strength, light, regular drywall. $16.98 a sheet. A sheet. Insane. Three-eighths inch regular drywall panel is $20.98 a sheet. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Pre-COVID, that was $7 a sheet. You know, I mean, I could, yeah, that's what I just said, Gary. I didn't see you had put that in there. I said the exact same thing. Uh, Not only was it $7, but it was true half-inch regular drywall like it used to be. Um, the quarter-inch stuff, uh, Susie, with these are sheds that flex, and they will flex because I don't have footers that below the frost line or any of that kind of stuff, so they're going to flex. And I think the quarter-inch would be more susceptible to cracks and splitting than the half-inch. Sell some silver for that. I know that's what, well, I don't have that much silver, but yeah, I know what you're saying. See, I don't understand that either. I still keep seeing all these videos, all these preppers telling you to buy, $4,000 an ounce gold and $50 an ounce silver. You got to stock up on that gold and silver for after SHTF happens, right? I don't understand it. It's not going to, the gold and the silver won't mean anything. You know, if we've transitioned over to a digital society, you know, you're going to have pretty coins. What are you going to, I don't, if SHTF happens and the financial collapse and everything, we're at our bug out locations and we're in survival mode, you know, if you want to bring something for me to barter, a coin I don't need. What good is that going to do? You know, I just have never been able to wrap my head around that. Exactly. Gary, I mean, that's what I've been saying all along. I want seeds, you know? I want ammo. I don't need much ammo, but see, I mean, you got to have tangible things, you know? I can go to somebody and say, look, I will trade you X number of seeds for this. Not a silver coin that has no value now in that day, in SHTF. I don't understand. And I agree. I mean, I could sell some silver. I got enough silver, probably I could go buy 20 sheets of drywall. Uh, yes, flexible drywall is available, designed specifically for curved applications like archways. What's going on, Ernie? This gold stuff, I don't know about this gold. It's lightweight. I mean, it's lighter, so it's going to be easier to haul in and hang up. But yeah, I think I'll do that, Gary. I'm gonna go down. I'll make a run to Lowe's tomorrow. Pick up some 2x4s and some drywall. Ah, yep, that makes sense. I didn't even look to see what 5/8 drywall costs. Shit, if 3/8 is $20, 5/8 scares me. Well, they got 5/8 tough rock, fire resistant for $20.98. Okay, regular 5/8 is $20.98. But yeah, I mean, $16 a sheet. $17 for a sheet. I'd get $1.70 off with my discount. Still crazy. I need a drywall screw gun, is what I need. I've never ever used one of those. I'm going to put corrugated metal on my ceiling because it goes up and across like that. It's going to be real easy to form and do the ceiling with the corrugated tin versus trying to patch all the pieces of drywall in. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to have to get off of here. It's 9:05. I am sore. Sitting here on this couch, it really messes with my back. Because I got to get up and move around. But, yeah. I need to get off of here. I need to take a gummy so I can sleep all night and get ready for Gary to work me to death. So if the 1/4 inch drywall is more flexible, wouldn't that be less likely to crack and break? No, yes and no. I mean, the 1/4 inch, I don't know. I don't want the building to flex. You know, I look at drywall just like I put that siding inside there. That's part of the structure. That's what's going to help hold all of this together. I think it's not so much that the 1/4 inch is more flexible. It's easier to score and bend, to go around curves and do the fancy kind of stuff with drywall. But structurally, it's not uh, as good as 1/2 inch or 5/8, you know. But yeah, Dave, I have seen people do videos about that. Um, I just don't understand the need for the silver and the gold, you know, after SHDF. I just don't, I can't envision it that I would want to put my money into that as a prepping item. Because don't bring it to me in a barter situation after SHTF. Pretty Coins is not going to get you anything of mine that has a whole lot more value to me than a pretty coin that has no value. You know, that's what I worry about. Did you check out? Yeah, Menards. I mean, Menards, Lowe's, and Home Depot. They've got this thing. They're all the same price. You know, they control the price of everything, so they're all the same price. All right, folks, I'm getting off of here. I got to give Gail a call, touch base with her, see if Alex made it home safe. Alex was supposed to be home tonight, and I want to make sure he got home safe. And I'm gonna get some rest. I gotta kick back, take a gummy, watch a little TV, and rest my back and get ready for Monday. But uh, Yeah, I use Tractor Supply on things, but you can't buy drywall there and 2x4s. That's the problem with Tractor Supply. You know, now I'm in the market for a toilet, a shower, and a vanity and sink. That's what I need now. That's, again, there's all that money, you know. If I get the money from the electric company, that'll take care of the bathroom and the plumbing and all of that. Uh, but, and I got to buy uh, the trusses. And I'm getting the trusses for my addition from the company that makes the shed, so they'll be exactly the same and only $35 a piece. I'm excited about that. Uh, that we could go pick up those trusses, and I don't have to worry about that for the roof. All right, yep, I gotta go. I gotta get off of this thing. I gotta stretch out my back because it does get difficult sitting here doing this. I got to come up with a different way to do live streams. It's not so hard on me. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I appreciate all the views on the channel, Just need some comments and some likes. If I could get my videos getting comments, I think that would help, but I don't get enough comments on them. I got to work on that aspect of it. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Hope you having a great weekend and have a good week coming up. I'll post videos when I can. Thank y'all.